All right, I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. At the bottom of the screen, there is a little chat feature. I see on my screen, it's kind of like right in the middle. If you're having a technical issue tonight, can't access video or audio, placing a question in there to get some support is great. Further over on the side, there's a Q&A link and button. If you have questions as we move forward, please feel free to add a question, and we will try to answer that as we go through or at the end of our presentation. If you'll look behind me, there's a poster sign up here that says dance. I'm not really a dancer. If you look over here, there's a few betas and piggy banks. That's not mine. This just happens to be my daughter's room, and it's the only quiet place in the house right now, and it's all mine. So I'm happy to be here and I'm talking with you all this evening. Next slide, please. This is one of our favorite nights of the year. It's when we get to introduce our incoming 6th grade class. Our little Falcons get a chance to spread their wings, and we're just absolutely jazzed to be able to have that opportunity. So we're going to introduce some folks tonight and share our excitement with you to have you on our team. The first thing I was going to introduce was my pet spider that is a little feisty tonight, so we'll save that introduction for a later time. Let's go on to our next panel. Next slide, please. Okay, to the top of your screen, Mr. Knipe cannot be with us tonight. He's our Dean of Students. He was unable to make it. And Miss Miriam Hernandez Gabriel is doing our fantastic translation on the other site. And we're just so pleased to be able to have her supporting. And one of my favorite people in the world, the princess of Fowler, I would like to say, our associate principal, Miss Watts, who's been instrumental in helping partner with us to make this an incredible start to the year. So at this point in time, I will turn it over to her and let her walk us through the next slides.
Well, wow, Mr. Van Fleet, that was quite the introduction. I don't even know what to say about that. I did not realize I was a princess. Don't let that scare you, anyone, but welcome. I'm Marnie Watts, Associate Principal at Fowler, and I am very happy to be here tonight. As Andy was saying, this is really one of our favorite nights, and I'm super disappointed that we can't do it in person with you, but I am happy to see that so many people were able to tune in with us tonight to just hear a little bit about what school is going to be like as a 6th grader, or what you can expect as the parent of a 6th grader if maybe this is your first student coming through middle school. This is kind of going to be a year like no other, and kind of a strange way to enter middle school, but I assure you, you will be in good hands. So next slide, please. So tonight, we kind of already did the introduction. We just have a few things planned for you. Probably the best part about the whole night is that you're going to get to meet and see some of your teachers and counselors here tonight. If you've been in any of the former community nights, you probably are getting tired of Mr. Van Fleet and Miss Watts doing all the talking and just seeing us. So tonight we get to introduce some of our favorite people at Fowler, and I know you're going to love them just as much as we do. You will also be meeting a couple of special guests that are here with us tonight who are going to talk about what it means to be a Fowler Falcon and how special that is. So super excited about that. You'll hear a little bit about kind of what school's like, what to expect, and a few tips about how to be successful in middle school, and parents, for you, maybe some tips on how you can help support your child as well. Next slide, please. So the first person I'd like to introduce is Miss Trish Merrick. This slide cracks me up, because if you have been in Fowler, in the office at Fowler this summer at all, you probably maybe have seen her. She looks a little bit like on the left. That's what she looks like with her face mask on. But if maybe you've been in Fowler in a former year, or you see her in a non-pandemic day at Fowler, you would see what she looks like on the right side of the screen with no mask. So Miss Merrick is our head secretary, and just a super great support for us at Fowler, and also wonderful support for parents and students. coming into Fowler, if you have any questions, she is a great resource for you. She is also helping to monitor or moderate our chat tonight, and will be helping to answer some questions. Next slide, please. So this year, you can just bring them all in at the same time. I thought thanks, go ahead, Dad, thank you. So this year, students are going to belong to a cohort, which is really like a group. They'll be part of a group of students, and they'll have 2 core subject teachers. So one of the teachers will teach language, for example, language arts and social studies, and the other one might teach math and science. Generally at Fowler, they might have 4 core teachers. So this year they're going to they'll be with the same group of students for their core classes, and have 2 core teachers on their, let's see. So the other thing about this year is we're going to be using the learning management system called Canvas. In elementary, you probably are familiar with Seesaw. So really what it is it's the kind of a system that teachers use to push out assignments, projects, assessments, and that kind of thing. That's where students would log in to get their assignments as well. Also, progress grades will be located in Canvas. Some of you maybe have been to some of the trainings that the technology department has been hosting over the last couple of weeks to learn a little bit about it. So as parents, you will be able to go in. The nice thing about Canvas is there will be consistency from teacher to teacher with what it looks like. And so hopefully once you kind of learn how to navigate the system, you'll be familiar with it, and you won't have to learn a different system for each teacher or class. So we're excited about that. There's a bit of a learning curve for all of us, so appreciate your patience with that. We will still be using Synergy as our student management system. So final grades will be posted in Synergy. If you are looking to maybe see how your student is doing kind of throughout the quarter, maybe looking to see if they have any missing assignments, anything like that, that would all be found in Canvas. But then their final grade at the quarter would be in Synergy. Also, we'll be using Synergy for attendance as well. Students will have a schedule, just like in middle school. Generally, they have a schedule. So there'll be a bell schedule, even though they won't hear the bells at home. I don't know, maybe you set a timer at home, and that kind of helps keep them in a routine of knowing when the next class is going to start and that kind of thing. The bell schedule will be the same, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesdays would be the exception. After they check in with their teacher in the morning, they'll have basically the day for working on assignments, projects, and that kind of thing. Although they could still follow that same bell schedule, they won't be checking in with their teachers and signing in with a teacher. So classes are, attendance is expected in all scheduled classes. So students are expected to check in and participate in all scheduled classes. They're not optional. All students will have one PE class and one elective class, which is probably new. They will have that twice a week. PE and electives will be twice a week for 6th graders. I'm not sure how many days a week they got PE and electives in elementary school, but we're excited that we can still offer them in this online format all year. The thing about PE and electives and non-core classes this year for our 6th graders and for all of our students is they'll be online only, even after we move into a hybrid on-site schedule. The electives and PE and non-core classes will still be online only. Next slide, please. So another person I would like to introduce to you is Miss Jill Flores, who is one of our dynamic 6th grade teachers. She was also instrumental in putting this presentation together for us tonight. She is going to do some introductions for us. So welcome, Miss Flores.
Hello there. I am going to kind of take us through, I'm going to take you through. We're going to get to meet a lot of the core teachers, the PE teachers, electives, the counselors, reading, and the learning specialists, and our ELL teacher. So what is going to happen next? Next slide. We're going to start with the great duo.
Hi, I'm Miss Scheller. I'm teaching science and math this year. Fun fact, once when I was swimming in the ocean, I got to reach out and touch a 6-foot shark. It did not bite me. I did once get bitten by a parrotfish, sort of like this guy, but not the shark. It was really nice. And I can't wait to meet you guys in about a week.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brian Walsh, and I'll be your language arts and social studies teacher. My fun fact is not nearly as interesting as Miss Scheller's, but I spent a lot of time this summer hiking with my dog and kind of exploring Oregon and Washington. I look forward to seeing you in about a week. Thanks.
Okay, next slide. I wanted to clarify before we meet Razzle and Dazzle that these are the cohort teachers that we're meeting, and students and parents don't know yet that we're still working on that, but kids are in groups now, and pretty soon, I don't know when, but Mr. Van Fleet and Mrs. Watts can help us with that. So take it away, Razzle and Dazzle.
Hey, I'm Mr. Walker, apparently now known as Razzle. I didn't know that until today, which is interesting fact. So I'm going to be teaching math and science. Looking forward to meeting all of you soon. And as you can see from my picture, I have an impeccable sense of fashion, and I recently lost a lot of, probably about 10 pounds just around here on my body. So anyway.
Oh. Hi, I'm Dazzle, and this summer I actually became a professional wakeboarder, and I was actually drinking a lot of water, crashing, getting up, crashing, and getting up again. So I consider myself a professional wakeboarder from this point on, 2020. I will be the language arts social studies teacher as well, with Mr. Walker and his cohort.
Next slide. Well, we are here now at the 100% online cohort, and one of those teachers happens to be me, Mrs. Flores. I'm teaching science and language arts, and something unique about me, I don't know if this is unique, but I'm an old timer at Fowler. This will be my 22nd year at Fowler, and I now teach children of students that I had. So that's pretty exciting. And I'm going to pass it on to my cohort partner, Mr. Ranis.
Hi there, everybody. So fun fact about me is during the pandemic, I have learned how to ride a unicycle and play the ukulele. So I'm going alphabetical, so I finished the U's. So I'm on to V, and I'm thinking I'm going to start vampire hunting pretty soon. That'll be my next hobby. But during normal times, I'm an avid skier and mountain biker, and I really love teaching 6th graders, and that's why it's my 20th year of doing it here at Fowler. And I'll be doing math and social studies.
Next slide.
And I'll go ahead and introduce, this is the TWE group. This is Mr. Morris and Mrs. Alcarez Juarez. And I don't know if they're here.
Oh, they're not here. That's why you're introducing them.
They're both fantastic people. I've eaten lunches with them during 6th grade lunch for the past several years. And they're not only wonderful they have wonderful culinary skills, but also they're wonderful teachers.
Thank you. Next slide. So hola to PE. We have 3 PE teachers this year, and I'll start off with Mr. J. He couldn't be with us tonight, but he is definitely one unique, interesting fact about Mr. J is he loves to fish. He loves to be out on his boat. and he has some really good fishing stories. So if you ask him, I'm sure he will tell you one. And on to the next. Oh, I'm sorry, could you take that back? We have Mr. Van Dyke going to talk next.
Hello, I'm Mr. Van Dyke, and I'll be teaching band in 6th grade PE this year at Fowler. So you'll see me on the next slide in just a moment as well. When we're not in the midst of a pandemic, I also play trumpet with the Oregon Symphonic Band and for a few musical theater companies in the area. One quick comment, if you or your student signed up for band but don't see it on your schedule, please let both me and your counselor know right away. We want to make sure everyone who wants to play gets to play. Thank you.
And Mr. Beck, our other PE teacher, he is not here with us tonight. He's also our Spanish teacher, and he also has an alias. His alias is Jose Karate. He is pretty famous. He has some famous YouTube videos. So that is Mr. Beck, Spanish and PE. Next slide.
Hi, I'm Holly Rendell, and I am going to be teaching coding this year. And if you meet me in person, I'm really short, so the other teachers like to tell me to get to class when they see me in the halls, so I kind of blend with the other middle schoolers.
Hi, I'm Miss Arcuni. I teach drama. I am so excited to teach you guys this year. I'm really excited to see what you create. I don't have much time for a fun fact, but drama is being offered this year because we can do video acting and performance, and I'm so excited for it. I'm also introducing Miss Routh, who teaches choir. Some of you may have choir and you will be in those classes with her. She is fantastic and wonderful, and I wish she could be here today to meet all of you.
Hi, hopefully this is working because I'm on my phone in my car. I am Jocelyn Rademacher. I will be teaching 6th grade art this year. Normally I teach ceramics, but we couldn't do that this year. So I'm really looking forward to teaching art with your 6th graders. And if we're really lucky during some of my art demos, we will get visited by my kitty cat, Sally.
And as you can see, Mr. Van Dyke appears a second time, and that's because he also does band as well. Next slide. So now we want to introduce the fabulous Mr. Jacobs, who's one of our learning specialists. And as you can see, he grew some eyebrows for the photo. Mr. Jacobs is an avid climber, and he loves to rock climb.
Hi, everybody. My name is Matt Kingsley. I'm a reading teacher. I really wish we could all be in person to greet each other, but I hope that'll happen soon enough. And I want to wish all incoming 6th graders an awesome year and welcome to Fowler Middle School. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
We also have our other learning specialist, which she is online 100%, and that's Miss Foster. And one thing about Miss Foster is she has a very bubbly, fun personality, and she is looking forward to this coming year.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Harms, and I am the ELD teacher at Fowler Middle School, and I'm looking forward to this year. And an interesting fact about myself is this year this summer, I became a Door Dasher with my daughter, Mercedes, and to help her earn money and spend time together. If you're not familiar with DoorDash, it's when you deliver people's food to them. And so I'm hoping I get to deliver to you one of these days. But it's kind of like a little bit like being in the Amazing Race.
Next slide. Oh, these two are our courageous counselors who are not with us tonight. Mrs. Cummings, she loves spending time with her family. And then we have Mr. Penny, who is also an avid fisherman and has some good fisherman stories. And he also loves to travel. Next slide. So then the next thing we're going to talk about, well, actually, I'm not going to talk about it. We have some special guests here, and I'm very excited that they agreed to do this. They are two 8th graders who were actually in the leadership class last year. So I would like the next slide, please. So we have Lillian and we have Hope, and they're going to tell us a little bit, if you could go the next slide real quick. They're going to tell us what it means to be a Fowler Falcon to them, and they're going to give some advice on how to survive middle school. So if you could go back to the last slide, back to Lillian and Hope. So Lillian, take it away.
Hi, I'm Lillian, and I'm going to be an 8th grader at Fowler Middle School this coming year. And so the first question was, what does being a Fowler Falcon mean to me? And to me, being a Fowler Falcon means being a part of all of the good changes that the Fowler community makes as a whole team. And also, I'm in leadership, so for me, that also means being a good role model and setting good examples for other students.
Do you have any advice, Lillian, to give us on how to survive middle school?
I do. So for online, I would say be respectful to all of your teachers, because this new online platform is new for teachers as well. And so you just have to remember that everybody's learning, and it's not just you that doesn't know this new platform that we're using. And then also make sure to turn in all of your assignments on time so that you don't get backed up, and so that your assignments don't get build up and piled up. And then also for in person, I would say don't take too long at your locker, because passing time is only 5 minutes and you don't want to be late to your classes. And then make new friends, but avoid drama, because you don't want to be involved in any drama. And then for both online and in person, I would say if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask your teachers. You have to advocate for yourself and make sure that you get all of your questions answered. And then the last thing that I just wanted to say was that we're all in this together. So don't be afraid to ask your teachers, friends, classmates, or parents for help.
Wow, we should have had you do the whole presentation, Lillian. Thank you. And Hope, we are looking forward to hearing from you.
Hi, I'm Hope Beaumont, and I'm going to be an 8th grader this year. So being a Fowler Falcon to me is just being a part of a big community, and whether you're doing an after-school sport or an after-school activity or anything like that, it's just a ton of people coming together with different interests, and you don't have to be in any after-school activities to feel that. Even just coming to school, you can feel it. And even being in leadership last year, I really felt that. And again, you don't need to be in leadership to notice it or whatever, but even just coming to school and have all the people be around you and just knowing that it's a big loving community all coming together. So any advice that I have for online school, I would just say be on time to your classes, because it is a normal class. It's just via computer, and they take attendance like normal, I'm assuming. And so you just got to make sure that you're there and ready to learn. And if we do go back to school in a couple of weeks, I would say just meet new people, whether you get assigned to them sitting next to you at your desk or meeting them in the halls. At the end of my 6th and 7th grade year, a lot of my friends were from different elementary schools that I've recently met in middle school. And it's really great meeting new people too. And one more thing I'd like to share is kind of like Lillian said, don't be afraid to ask for help, whether it's with homework or a thing you're working on in class, whether it's with your iPad or you can't find your way around the halls. There's so many people that can help you. And even though it might feel a little scary in the moment to ask, trust me, it really isn't in the long run.
Wow, thank you. I'm really glad you two came here tonight to share your advice and what it means to be a Falcon. Next slide. And next one. Okay, this is something to think about. The first day and beyond, what is it that you need to, how can you be ready for the first day? So there's 3 things that we hope that you will do before you come to our sessions online. The first one is to make sure you know what your schedule is and who your teachers are, and what time will you meet in your different meet times. You also want to make sure that you have the Google Meet downloaded on your iPad and that you could log into it and can practice. What will normally happen is you will receive an invitation, a link to the Google Meet, and you will join the class that way. And number 3 just was sent out yesterday by the district, and it's a way to get to know the Canvas app that will be the central point for the year. And it actually, when you click on the link, it will take you to Canvas and you will log in to it. And it's to just help you with your iPad and to make sure it's working and to navigate through Canvas. So those are 3 things you can do to be ready for the first day. Next slide. Here is some tips on to kind of back up what Hope and Lillian were saying, that you want to make sure that you have a set time and place every day where you're going to do your work, if it's possible. And there are going to be times when you get disconnected or you get frustrated about the technology. So to have a backup plan and to keep track of your due dates and assignments. You want to make sure that you're communicating with your parents and letting them know what's going on. Some classes, you will have some projects that are larger and will take time to break them down and work on them. You want to make sure that you have a plan every day. And what Lily and Hope said is really true, and that is to advocate for yourself, to make sure other people, other teachers, the teachers know that you need help or you have questions, because we are here for you and we want to make your year a great year. Next slide. And I'm taking it to Marnie.
All right. Hi, it's me again, Miss Watts. And I thank you, Lillian and Hope. I agree with Miss Flores. We should have had you guys do more of this presentation. You had some great advice, some great tips. And you have been at Fowler for a couple of years, so you know what you're talking about. So thank you. So Ms. Flores just talked a little bit about some things that students can do to be successful. And along those lines, I just wanted to give a little bit of information about, as a parent, what you can do to help your child be successful, even in this virtual learning world that we're all entering this year. Sometimes we find that as students come into middle school, they maybe don't, and sometimes parents think this too, they don't need their parents as much, or they don't want their parents around as much. But we are here to tell you, stick with it. Don't give them too much space. They're just kind of coming into their own and trying to figure things out, but they still need guidance. And so a lot of the things on this slide are similar to what Ms. Flores was talking about. Help your child create a learning space. So they have a place every day that they kind of consider their classroom. Maybe it's a corner in a room, maybe it's a desk, but just some place that they can keep their things and they can go to for their classes. Helping them set a daily routine is going to be really important, because there's just not quite as much structure in this virtual online schooling world that we're going to be living in this year. So they might need help setting a daily routine, making sure they're getting up on time, somehow having a timer or something so they know that their next class is going to start. And then even on Wednesdays, when they have more time for that independent work, just sticking with the routine. It's still a school day. Consider the school day, 9 to 3:30, just like if they were in school. If possible, help them reduce distractions, whether it's music or noise, or putting video games and phones and that stuff away, and maybe just they're not using them during the day. So if you can help them reduce distractions throughout the school day, that's going to be super helpful. using a calendar to organize their classes and their schoolwork. They may need a little bit of help getting started with that. And that's something that their teachers will help them with as well. But not being at school, they might need a little extra guidance from you. Don't back off. Ask them questions. Ask them about school. Ask them about their classes and their assignments, their teachers, their peers. Help them stay involved, and you get involved as well, so you know what's going on, and then you can kind of help them navigate their schooling. And again, we've heard this already, but encourage them to advocate for themselves. Being online, it might not be as noticeable if they need help. And so it's okay to ask for help. And there's lots of ways to do that, even in this virtual schooling that we're going to be living in. And flex time is built into each school day. So there's a time set aside if they need extra help, and their teachers are there for them and they want to help. So advocate, advocate, advocate. And then the last one is just about getting a good night's sleep, and a little bit of exercise and movement every day is super, super important. It will help keep them sharp, keep their minds and their brains going, and just help them get through each day. Not having every 45 minutes getting up for passing time like a normal school day. Make sure that they're getting up, maybe getting out and getting some fresh air, and a little bit of exercise every day is going to be super important. Next slide, please. All right, so this is something we're super excited about too. You just met the teachers, and as I'm sure you noticed or hopefully picked up on, they have good sense of humor. They are a lot of fun, and they love to have fun, and they're really super excited to meet you. This was kind of their first opportunity to get their names and faces out. But next Friday, September 11th, we are hosting a kind of a drive-through meet and greet for sixth graders only. This isn't something we're doing for everybody, just for sixth graders. We want you to be able to actually meet them in person. So we have a schedule set. There will be kind of hour opportunities to come and drive through, meet your teachers, give them a virtual high five, and there will be some ice cream there. So I know this schedule means nothing to you right now because you don't know who your teachers are, and my apologies for that. I so wish that we had schedules already to share with you tonight, but we are working really hard to get those done so we can get them out to you next week. I know that is one big thing that kids want to know: who are my teachers and what are my classes? And we will share that with you as soon as we can. And we're looking at a target date of probably next Thursday, the 10th. If it happens to be any sooner, we will make sure that we let you know ahead of time. So mark your calendar for next Friday, September 11th. And we hope that you can make it. I know it's kind of a short time frame for each teacher team, but that we just wanted to throw this out as an opportunity for you. Next slide, please. So that kind of brings us to the end of our little presentation and information. I know there's a lot more that we could share and that we'd love to share, but for the sake of time and just kind of looking at a screen, we don't want to take too much of your time. If you have questions, then in a few minutes we will check in with Ms. Merrick to see if there's some kind of bigger themed questions that we can answer for you here. If you have other questions that you're really dying for an answer, you can also, shoot us an email or that kind of thing, and we can get back to you as soon as we can with information. I know this year is there might be a little bit of anxiety around, you're starting middle school, you're also starting in this, online, which feels so different than being in person. And middle school is an opportunity to meet new friends, to really kind of just get a little more freedom. You have more classes, more teachers, and all of that. And so doing this way, although it's not quite the same, it's still going to be great. You're in good hands with your teachers, and there will still be plenty of opportunities to meet new kids and new friends. We have students that come in from Mary Woodward, Metzger, and CFT, and actually a few from Alberta Writer too. So it will still be a great opportunity to meet new kids. And I know one thing that our 6th grade teachers do is they do a great job of building community and helping everybody get to know each other from the very beginning. So I know that that's going to happen this year too, just in a little bit of a different way. Next slide, please. Oh, I guess that was it. So we are just super excited to welcome you to Fowler. Welcome back for any parents that maybe this is not your first time being a Fowler Falcon. And for all of you 6th graders, we are excited to meet you, and that's going to happen really soon. So with that, Miss Merrick, is there anything that maybe you think we might be able to address?
The only one that I see that most parents would probably want to know for sure is about how many students are in each cohort.
Okay, that's a great question. So the cohorts for the core classes are probably going to be around 20. They shouldn't really, 15 to 20 is what we're shooting. The online only may be a little bit bigger. One of the kind of driving forces between the really low numbers is we did all of the scheduling with the hope and that we will be going back on site at some point. So we want to make sure that we can meet the social distancing requirements within our classrooms. And in order to do that, we can't have more than like 20 people in the classroom at a time. So we need to keep those groups fairly small. And that is also the reason that they're cohorted together. So there won't be interacting between, they won't be moving from class to class. They would be with the same group of students and then just the 2 teachers. Is there anything else that we could address?
I don't think so, but I do have a lot of thank yous here in the chat.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you really, really soon. Go Falcons.